how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And y'all check this out, man. It'd be crazy though, but this the world that we live in. Now, a lot of times we don't even realize when they, run game to us because they make it like they're using it to help somebody. And we gotta always remember that. No matter what it is, they always come in the name as in they're trying to help someone or trying to help the environment or trying to bring some type of environmental change. Now, before we get into this, y'all gotta understand things that's in the environment or in this atmosphere already adapt and already had a lifestyle of living before it even had to get adjusted and stuff like that. Now, this is why we be talking about, or some people would say that everything was good until, people went to touching and manipulating things. Because one thing about it is, just like what we see now, the most talented and based people is not the people that you see in position today. You get what I'm saying? It's the complete opposite. So it throw you off. So let's go ahead and get right into it because at the end of the day, we got to talk about how these people use little simple stuff like this to get around. They be able to create snowstorms, hurricanes, blizzards, anything that's needed. And it all plays back, and I'm going to read some of this out for y'all, just to show y'all how this weather manipulating, as long as you put it in cloud seeding, it wasn't even hidden from you. It all pop up right here, go all the way back to different dates. Over here, I'm going to keep scrolling for y'all. Right here, got the different planes, the ones that could be used. You know what I'm saying? Look, the Beach 18, use dry ice for clouds, seeding in the early post-war era USA. You see what I'm saying? It's showing you the one they use in Australia. They're showing you the ones that they use, you know what I'm saying? The Trojan, Rainmaker. So they got them named certain things and all. So these are the ones that they use to create certain things. Like they got the hell, look, the hell defense. Nah, ain't no hell defense, man. Y'all creating hell then to bring a defense. So sometimes y'all create problems and then acting like y'all coming to fix them just for people to be lost and think that y'all actually doing something. So y'all can play the role of God or play the role of being a superhero, but knowing y'all the one that did the stuff from the beginning. So that always be the thing behind it. Now, when you get down to it, now this dates back early before the 1940s, but the concept of where they want to take off from is the 1940s because this is where they was like, main screening it basically. You know what I'm saying? You can be able to come over here, you can find out what plane going where, which one is, operating over where. So look, boom, let me turn this around. So look, in India, Iran, do y'all see this? Israel, Kuwait, North Korea, Pakistan, what all that? You see that? United Arab, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this Vietnam, the reason why I'm bringing this to y'all is that don't sound kind of what a coincidence. When coincidences, it ain't such thing to believe in. You feel me? It ain't crazy that all of them somehow got weather modification devices that they're using to modify the weather in their area. It all sounds like an agreement. They all got planes. They all got the planes up here listed. You get what I'm saying? Telling you which one operate and how it operate, which year did it operate, where it came from, why was it built, what did they tell you they built it for, and it said just before the outbreak of battle. So it always been a war or a battle. And then the thing about it is it always been wars and battles every time they created stuff. All the way to the point of, I want to break something down to y'all while we on these same things because a lot of people don't understand. We go to believing in science so much that we forget to even do our own like things of jotting down or just use common sense. Now watch this with the NASA jump. When was Mars discovered? Y'all ever thought about that? Because all these type of stuff, it shows. You know what I'm saying? It shows like who behind everything. You know what I'm saying? So it just get real weird. So hold on, let me get it. Put it up real quick. All right. So boom, right here. Once again, our scientists, Mars, look, it wasn't discovered by NASA, but it has been visible to the naked eye and known since ancient times. And we'll get back on that. However, NASA's scientific explanation began when the main aforementioned, look, you see that? That right there is another aircraft that they use, or spaceship, or satellite, whatever you want to call it, which flew by Mars on July the 14th, 1965. So we talking about we had spacecrafts and all that's flying all these different places and stuff. In 1965, we had a spacecraft that could go to Mars. But right now, in 2026, we don't have cars that could at least ride to another state without breaking down. That don't make no sense. So you would think like something ain't right here. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, hold up. So y'all give us a lot of bull junk just to give it to us, just to keep us in some type of, routine and practice. So AKA a ritual. So now what I'm showing y'all is this, and to walk through it, I'm finna shout out What It Look Like TV. I'm finna show y'all of how this junk work and how fast it work. Look at this.
They said 20 inches. I can still see my grass. I spent well over $1,000 prepping for this storm. They say there's still another day, but I'm just not buying it. The next day.
Man, shout out to the TikTok down there too. But that's the snow. Very unrealistic. Like it obviously manipulated. Even when you look at the hurricanes, the storm, how they keep moving, it's almost like they had a controller in it. And if y'all don't know, I always use the phrase that they told you in the cartoons. You ever seen a cartoon where they got like an evil scientist and he's making a cloud literally go to the other city and then it starts storming and all this type of stuff happening? They literally showed us that they do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, we need to know that we can't trust who we thought we could trust. I'm gonna just leave it like that because they already gonna be shadow banning, Xing, and throwing and all that type of stuff. They don't like the people that bring the common sense knowledge of making you stop trusting and believing in bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So you can start realizing, I don't think your enemy gonna ever tell you, hey, this is my weakness. Hey, this is how you can escape my maze. Like, no. They're gonna always give you hints or clues to lead you deeper back into the maze, a couple steps back, and knock you off your pivot, knock you off your path. So a lot of people don't understand that. That's the reason why they try to play the role of the powers. Without the power or without them having the control of where your ideology is, oh man, it's a whole different thing. So of course they're going to shadow ban people that give people a whole nother ideology of thinking instead of them putting faith into a man without them really knowing it. Of course, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, another one I wanted to show on the same video. Let me get to it real quick, y'all.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on
it. You gotta get YouTube Premium just to avoid stuff. And that's another thing. They try to make you pay for everything. At first, ain't none of it had no ads. Then they threw ads. Then they lowered the pay. And then all type of stuff. Like, great day. So you go from almost slaving to you're officially slaving now. Even on the YouTube end, like with content creation. You know what I'm saying? Before the year of what that was, like 2018 or 2020 or something like that, they switched the whole thing and made you had to say whether it's for kids and all that there. Then they started putting ads on your stuff and you had to go through there. So at the same time, yeah, that's a good, smart promotion from a business perspective. I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it get to a point where it oversaturate or it takes away. So a lot of these times, that's why you got the skippable ones like that. So they understand the program for the most part with that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to this part of this video. Because this junk just don't make no sense of how deep this snow go. Oh, and that's the part I wanted to show. Hold up. Let me get it right. That it is not only just happening in America where they having these snowstorms. This is happening worldwide, like type stuff.
Police are urging people to avoid any unnecessary outdoor activity.
His tow crew is here.
See, this South Jersey.
They say they've had 15 calls like this today. Right now, the speed limit on this highway has been lowered to 35.
And it's little Russia.
Самое отчаянное не только рисуют, но еще и помогают вычищать. Вон, вкусненько. Мы целую ванну сейчас наберем снега, так что приходите.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't the rest of these things I just named for y'all. Hold up real quick.
Мы периодически включаем лейку, чтобы его немножко...
If it ain't the rest of them, like Russia.
Сделать снеговика вот тут в ванне.
Look, Vietnam. I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't none of these. Europe. Look, what is it, Bulgaria? Now, what can you say about that? Like, do y'all not, like, do we not understand? They ain't got just one. They ain't just doing it in the United States. Man, they doing it everywhere, dog. Look, reducing hell to the damage to the crops. You know what I'm saying? It started off first, like I told you, trying to help something. But it's always they give you one thing to help something and it tears down everything else. And I love to say that because it's just like they pill commercial when they're like, hey, do you have a headache? Take this. And next thing you know, now after that, a couple weeks later, you see the the ad pop up and be like, hey, have you been taking da-da-da? You might be exposed to vomiting, da-da-da. They name a whole list of stuff, but you were trying to fix one thing. It's almost like when you go to a mechanic, if you don't know no better. You came to get an oil change. Next thing you know, 3 days later, somehow you out of coolant. Somehow your radiator broke. Got a little small crack at the bottom. So you got to start realizing, man, this ain't the first time people been scamming. There ain't nothing new under the sun. All this stuff. They done lied about boating. They done lied about traveling the seas. They lie about things to people for them to have the power of the intellect that they're giving out. Think about it. They the ones made the schooling. Y'all don't think they're going to have you learn that they're the heroes and nobody else? They're the first to do it, nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Words of soldier, why was the first to do it? They trying to be the first to do everything, knowing they was the last. You get what I'm saying? Knowing people was doing these things, just didn't want to indulge in it as much and heavy as they did. So it wasn't even about what you did. It's how they did it. Look how they did that shit. You know what I'm saying? They came and used it for force and putting people down. And that's a whole nother thing, y'all, where I'm going to break down the whole video. I'm going to do that within the video. So with the shadow banning and all that, I'm going to put it in a way that I could get it out, though. But at the same time, that jump me crazy, man, because we going through a thing where we have to trust people and everything, all our source of information come from them, but yet we see them playing us. We see them get, just running game on us. So that junk just be crazy to me. But anyways, back to it is another thing I wanted to show was why did they even go to space? You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. They're talking about sending people back to the moon where they never been at. So now they talking about that. Now, let me tell y'all something. It's always some type of weird behind army war or something like that that we really ain't have no business into, but they just throw us into it when I feel like war in general shouldn't be something that's done. It's never good when innocent people lose their life, period. You know what I'm saying? Period, dog. It ain't got nothing to do with it. And it's also a cosplaying event. So it's real stuff that's happening, but it's just fake as it is programmed and planned this way. So y'all see that? The Cold War. After the Soviets launched, look, the Sputnik, the U.S. saw space, look, wow, with the moon race as a dramatic benchmark. So y'all having a race like who could get to the moon first? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So this is our overall purpose. You know what I'm saying? To target the lunar South Pole for water, ice. And that's another thing. Y'all can't even create water. Y'all got to manipulate it in so many different manners. And that's what people don't get, man. They're like, certain things they can create, but they're not going to put it like that. They're going to tell you how this molecule was created, but they can't create that molecule. That don't even make sense. They'll be like, gold is Ag4, is this and that. Like, no, man, that period, the whole periodic table was just them walking down to us that, yeah, it's a metal, yeah, it's different type of things. This one have a different density level. That's it. If you really look at it like that, that's all it is. Gold, iron, all the metals, or whatever it is, have a way denser version than the gases. That simple. So, they showed it in school, but taught us in a way that we get too deep into what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then they're able to play things around us. So they even go to naming things after these gods too. And that's another thing I want to talk about. So you see this? The modern mission, Artemis. So Artemis, as y'all already know, Artemis is basically a hunter, or what some would say, how I'm gonna look at it, like a goddess that's like the best at hunting. So she got like the force of being able to go through the woods and all this type of stuff here. So they used it as a whole programming, and they named it the Artemis program. See, the Artemis program is a moon exploration program led by the United States National Aeronautics and Space, NASA, formerly established in 2017. But before then, look, they said the Apollo 17 mission and launch was in 1972. Now, what I'm doing is just scamming through this just to show y'all how many billions of dollars it costed from 13 years. It costed more than $93 billion. I don't know, can people see that or whatever? But that's just for one project. You know how many of these things go on? How many different ones? Like you got the Apollo 13, you got the Fahrenheit, you got so many different ones. The Orion things, what they just showing right here. It's so many different things. I just showed the other week of different lunches that they got. So then they even go into it even deeper and have these different Artemis. You got Artemis 1, 2, 3. But you see, we get too lost into that, and then we'll start believing it in like, okay, yes, like, and start being basically a fan of what's going on without us knowing, like, it's to our own demise. Like, yeah, you're a fan for all this and that, but you just don't know it's gonna mess you up in the long run. It's almost like that every time we vote. It's the same system every time we vote. You just don't know. One of them is gonna be worse than the other one in the beginning, and the other one gonna end a lot worse than the other one. It's always like that. And it never changed. It's always talking about rulers. So when y'all start going back in the dates and stuff like that, you're going to see it's always somebody that tried to be a ruler got overthrown if there was a ruler for all the wrong reasons. Even if there was a ruler for the right reasons, it was always that little one hater out the crowd that always try to come take over. And they made sure they threw that in every type of movie you could think of. You know what I mean? Just to let you know what time they was on. So when we go through these type of things, it's just showing you like we wasn't in control of that. They felt like doing that. When they run it to us, we get it. If they run it to us, they run it to us like there is only to help. Is they already checked everything. There's no damage it could cause. Like they literally just said they're shooting silver iodine into rain clouds. And like it's like it ain't like it don't do nothing to you. Like it does nothing to you. Like that's crazy. It's crazy. And then when you go type in, you can just type in harmful effects with it, and then oh my god, it just be so much of stuff. But do the people, and then the more we type in, the more we start, they try to move around stuff then too. So they'll be like, nah, it ain't that bad for your life. It take a certain amount, you know what I'm saying, for it to be like this, but it's also labeled as a toxic. So anytime you seen a toxic waste hazard, anything like that, you was told to not touch this, not stay away from it, wear a mask, do not breathe it in, and this and that there. But you telling me they can put a hazard or a toxic waste into the clouds right above you so you can't help but breathe it in. Your AC, all that there. So the thing about it is, a lot of people don't realize, they'll tell you that this is what they need. This is how they help. This is actual pollution. So you wondering why the water keep being polluted, even when we trying to do little things like shout out to Mr. Beast, how they got the little Team Aqua when they trying to clean up the lakes, the oceans and stuff like that. And you wondering what the hell going on with the fish still. Ain't none of this still ain't doing nothing. We got all these mutated looking fishes. No, because they're mutating the water. They're mutating your atmosphere. So of course some people gonna come out a little different. They mutated the food. They messing with that. So of course people thinking gonna be a little different than it should have been. The common sense might not be all there. You feel what I'm saying? They giving you damn potions and stuff to make your brain lose. They hitting you with a Men in Black goddamn thing every time you turn around by throwing up so many different events that it'd be hard for you to remember what they just did last month. You know what I'm saying? They know how to hurry up and flash that light in front of your face. And next thing you know, you don't remember what happened. And remember, the Men in Black was the government. Like, they was the ones that's hiding everything. And I'm not telling y'all that them actual aliens. If y'all know that those things were from different galaxies. And my words of saying different galaxies is just saying different continents. So when you understand that, now you get, okay, this part of the world, that part of the world coming together. Okay, these people kind of look like this. If we was to draw them out like an animal, this would have come out to. Like, they know what they be doing, bro. So they play roles of picking on Native Americans and stuff like that when we used to go back and talk about spiritual animals and how to, track things like that. So, man, it's a lot of this stuff them being funny at the same time as they use it to show you that, yeah, it works. But due to the world being babies, they don't understand it. So they're still waiting for us to come feed them the knowledge or feed them for this fruit, aka still the wisdom of how the world works. So the only way that they're going to learn is when they're in school. So when they out of school, ain't no more trying to learn nothing new. They're just trying to live life, and we the one place this. So we got them to, when they go to school, they whole beginning of their life, and then when they get out, now they can work the rest of their life. So then they could never pay attention to why their life even work like this. Hey, it's a perfect evil ass plot. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And then it's worse though, because it's worse people out there. You got people that's with this stuff and play with God and make y'all get more into this stuff just because they can. Just because they can say stuff like that and get away with it. They could, hey, Jesus told me he had something special for you. Why Jesus told you, bro? Why ain't tell me? And y'all know my third video I ever made, man, I was saying stuff like that. So it just don't make no sense, man. At one day, we got to just wake up and be like, yo, hold up, man. They played with us. If your enemy was doing this to you, you ain't gonna never know what happened. And then they told you they was an enemy in the word. They was like, yo, don't trust man. Man gonna go against God. And then get what you did. Put everything like, yeah, we gonna believe in man when it come to our religion. We gonna believe in a man when it come to our education. We gonna believe in a man when it come to our politics. We gonna believe in a man when it come to our business. And we're gonna believe in a man when it come to our education life. Like, what the hell? Like, what is going on here? Religion, you got business, education, entertainment, all that stuff. So you got all 5 pillars of just being like, okay, this is where we're going to face a man, and then wonder how you fall underneath being a Satanist or have satanic things going on in the world where it seems like it's overlooked. It's like Christians turn a blind eye to it and just be like, yo, Jesus is going to fix everything, although this has been going on quite often. And I don't think that we supposed to do anything. Like, God damn. And then they'll read the Bible. Someone be like, God said meet them halfway. So it's like a whole bunch of contradictions and a whole bunch of things of when you start thinking about it, they didn't get caught up by the religion. The politics got them like, yes, this party here is the reason why we're failing. We need to do this. We need to do that. Hey, y'all need to go after them, to the point that I had to make a video of Americans attacking other Americans. But the damn motherfucking foreigners is the ones receiving way more. 55 Americans, the stuff they receiving ain't nothing compared to one foreigner in goddamn Michigan or some random ass state. They just running it up, Wyoming or something. Like, you don't know what be going on nowadays. But anyways, I already see this algorithm gonna get played with, y'all. So I'm gonna save my breath and say this for the next time I go live. I'm out. OG Drip.